Welcome to Command West, a Command podcast where we tackle the latest Washington football team news and answer the hard-hitting questions like, what do we really gain by putting in Jacoby Brissett? I'm your host, Bradley.
We don't even know who we are. I'm Tico Wells. What's up?
I'm Eddie Passarelli, and I'm salty.
And I'm Donnie Roach.
Very nice. We'll cover that and a lot more on tonight's episode. Let's get the show on the road because I don't have much to talk about.
There isn't a whole lot to talk. Well,
but you guys saw the game. So.
I was going to say the one fun thing for us is we were there. We were at SoFi Stadium, which none of us had ever been to before. We had a good time, and even in the disappointing loss, you know, I could kind of take it with a grain of salt. Like, I'm just here to have a good time at SoFi Stadium. If we were still fighting for a playoff spot, it would have been harder to take. But we weren't. I knew we weren't. You know, the Rams clearly were, and they played like it. And I enjoyed the stadium. I enjoyed I love going to a sporting event. I love football the most, and I love the Commanders the most. So enjoyed the moment.
What did you guys think about the stadium? That was our first time.
Well, I mean,
we had the tailgate, which was
let's just go back to the beginning because we had a little bit of a entertainment factor going on. I don't know how much Donnie told his son Bradley about the weekend, but
I guess this part was probably left out.
Yeah, I think it probably was.
Well, I mean, first of all, we want some big props out to my nephew Lee.
Yeah.
Lee Kochnick, thank you
Lee,
for putting together the ticket situation. He's got some season tickets with a bunch of buddies. We had the pleasure of hanging out, tailgating. We had burgers. Some of us had burgers. And, there was tequila flowing. There was a lot of things going on. And I must say, the Rams do know how to throw a party. Okay, so this event was very climactic. We had our little missteps trying to get food in the morning, trying to find parking. Even though we had a free VIP pass, we still couldn't make it over there very easily. So no problems, though. We figured it out. And aside from a few domestic disputes,
shout out to Stuff
Darby
I Eat.
Park.
Shout out to the vegan spot, Stuff I Eat, Chef Babette.
And all to you husbands and wives that own companies, and own restaurants, be nice to your wives, would you?
Yeah, right. That's a little inside, but okay.
I don't know what they're talking about, but
don't worry about that. We won't go into that at all.
Why don't we start chatting about some of the on-field production?
Yeah, well, it wasn't much on-field production for us, especially in the first half. Yeah. We got outscored 20-15 in the first. 13-0 in the first half. Yeah. 20-15 in the second half. We actually won the battle in the second half. We outscored them. Mm-hmm. And I thought Jacoby Brissett came in and did a great job.
Well, you know what's funny, Tico, is I'll speak on that in a second, but I actually, Dad, when you were saying being there and stuff, this was actually an entertaining game, which I feel like I haven't seen an entertaining game in 3 weeks. Yeah. We had a bye.
What do you mean by entertaining, though?
But Miami was never close.
Right.
Never close. I mean, at least this game was oh, shoot.
The occasional perkiness at the end of the game.
Maybe they're going to do something at the end.
And even I was talking to my dad, there were some moments in the first half where, we went for it on 2 4th downs on one drive. We converted one. We didn't convert the other. We were in scoring position. I don't know. I mean, it was entertaining. The score, the score of the first half was 13-0. Wow, we didn't score a point, but it was but we also went for it on 4th down. We don't have anything to lose. Mm-hmm, so that it was, that could have been 13-3. Which is a much different game than 13-0. Is it much different? But. No. But it is a bit different, and 7-13 is a much different.
Yeah. Was he throwing to Logan Thomas when the ball got batted down? If he had gotten that ball to Logan, I think that was a touchdown. So, and that was one of the 4th down plays, I believe, wasn't it?
Yeah. And being that you just mentioned that, before I forget to say it again, I know he's not that short. He's 6'2", Sam Howell, but he had 3 or 4 passes that got batted down, not because the guys that had their hands up. I think he hit him in the head. I mean, literally was not throwing the ball with any above the head type of stuff. I mean, I could have blocked some of those. I'm 5'6". I mean, give me a break.
Sam did look a little sleepy, man.
He did.
At times.
Sam was off.
He was a little sleepy.
He was off. He was off. You know, and I still say, you know, like I said at the game, I don't know why they're putting Jacoby Brissett in. I just assume let Sam get more reps. But him coming in and kind of lighting up the offense for those two drives, as Bradley said, it made it entertaining. You know, and I was like, we're at the stadium, so I was like, well, that was nice because it made it fun there at the end. You know,
and the highlight. Hey, a highlight. Aaron Donald's mom came up and wanted to take a picture with me. Wasn't that cool?
What? No. Are you serious?
Yeah. I'm serious.
Yeah.
She comes down and like she's trying to get me to come out the aisle, and I'm like, you come over here. She comes over, sits next. Donnie was gone somewhere.
I was gone. She sat in my seat.
Sits in his seat. We take a selfie. We give each other a hug, and she's in some you know, impressive suites above us. And every time when we got close in the second half, I was like, we just need 3 quick ones. 3 quick ones. Oh, we just need 2 quick ones. I kept looking back at her, and I said, we just need 1 more quick one. Of course, we missed the extra point.
Yeah.
But
that is hilarious. You know what's funny about that, Tico? Is she probably, you know, texted or called her son and was like, guess who I met in the stands?
I don't know.
Right.
I texted him right there, or maybe
you're
later.
right.
Yeah.
Not during the game, but afterwards.
So
it's funny because I came back to my seat and I was with, you know, I had my buddy Andrew with me. Andrew turns to me and he goes, "Some lady came down here and sat next to Tico. He's telling me it's Aaron Donald's mother. I think he's yanking my chain. I don't believe it."
He couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe it.
Yeah, but as a consolation prize for this game, at least Aaron Donald knows who you are, and was thinking about you after he beat our Commanders. So
there you go.
Well, at least his mom did. You know, he's well, I'm sure if she knows, he knows.
We're gonna say it got passed along.
We're gonna say it got passed along. Yeah, that's very cool.
And I did say before the game the one thing I wanted to see, because I saw where our seats were kind of like on one side of one corner of the end zone. And I said, I just want to see Terry McLaurin catch a touchdown pass right here in this corner of the end zone.
Yep.
Damned if it didn't happen. That pass that Jacoby threw to him, right? I mean, and we were so down on field level that he actually caught it. Like you couldn't kind of see him catch it behind the stands because we were so low so close to the field. But it was right smack in front of us. That's right. Where I wanted to see it happen.
You got to see it again on the big screen.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. That's an interesting the camera the monitor situation is like a big oval shape contraption above the stadium. And
with screens on both sides of it. Like there's nowhere you sit in that stadium that you can't see monitors, you can't see replays. It's a really cool setup. They do it right. I think it's pretty nice.
Yeah, the thing I found amazing too was I didn't realize it was subterranean. I mean, you come in the 6th level and you drop down 100 feet or something. It's like, whoa. And then those screens that look like they're 100 feet above us, because we were almost on ground level, there's people above that looking down through that.
That's right.
I'm like, how high up are they?
Yeah. Like how and where are they? Like did we had to go down to get to our seats or something? I don't know.
And that's right, we did, and they had to go up because you come in on ground level, and we literally, like Eddie's saying, it's kind of like you're going down. Like they clearly dug up and placed the stadium down into the ground. You know.
Yeah.
Cool.
You know, I would, Bradley. One of the comments I had was like, you could tell they kind of economized on materials. Like the seats are like these plastic seats. Like they could probably, if something got damaged, they could just rip them off and replace them.
Yeah.
You know, it was
inexpensively.
Like, okay.
Yeah. Quickly and inexpensive.
Economized on your material, didn't you?
So it's kind of like flash over quality.
Well, I don't know. It might be the best lightweight material and inexpensive and eco-friendly, and maybe they did it right.
Look, somehow they spent $5 billion to build it. So
the shape of it's cool. The shape of it's cool.
Yeah.
The roof looked like some cheap kind of plastic.
And the roof was closed. It made me wonder, like, Why wouldn't they open it? It was a kind of a nice sunny day. I wasn't sure. I don't know when.
It was getting
It
cloudy.
is
There's a lot of
retractable too,
chemtrails out
right?
there.
I mean, is
chemtrails.
it a retractable roof? I didn't even realize.
I thought it opens, doesn't it?
It didn't look. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe I'm wrong about that.
I didn't. But anyway.
Okay, we don't know. I don't know.
What you guys think about Sam overall?
Sam looked. It's my comment on Sam is like the rest of the team. They're losing their will to play and win anymore. It's unfortunate. I think Sam was hanging in there longer than most of the team, but I think he's kind of lost it now too. When Brian Robinson was in there, for a few weeks, you felt like he was the guy going for it, and Sam was still going for it. But Brian was out injured, and I know they're athletes and they're out there to win every game they play, but I gotta think there's something deep down inside that just kind of starts to die.
It's tough. That's tough.
So many games. Tough. Yeah.
I feel also too.
Terry, wasn't this Terry's first 100-yard game?
Not his first, but maybe he had like 141 or something.
He had 141 yards.
That might have been his best game, and that was, mostly in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, still pretty close to 1,000 yards, which is crazy.
No, that's good to hear.
Surprising, actually.
It is surprising.
I was very surprised.
Yeah.
So my thing on Sam is like, I'm kind of running out of like material to talk about with like this shit because I feel like I keep like either repeating myself over and over, or like something like Brissett comes in and like lights it up, and I go, yeah, I don't really even have much to say about that. I don't really have I don't know, right? Like, I guess he's a veteran and he knows an NFL offense more, like, or are the players getting a spark from a new quarterback and they're playing harder? Like, I honestly, for the first time this season, I feel like I'm at a loss for words. Here's what I will say about Sam is I think this coaching staff, like many coaching staffs throughout our long history of a franchise, has ruined. Okay, let me rephrase that. I don't think that he's ruined yet.
No, I hope not.
They have put way too much on Sam's plate, and he has begun to play not like Sam Howell. And I think that was something I was afraid of, when they were like, when they put so much, he's the quarterback who's dropped back the most in the league, and the most in the league on a statistic level since 2000, since turn of the century. So like you see teams like the Lions, you see teams like the Colts who are 7-6 with Gardner Minshew. You see teams like the Niners who take the quarterback position and limit their effectiveness on the game, both ways, both positively and negatively, and take things off of their shoulders so that they can go out and play a simpler but more effective game. And we have done the opposite. And Ron continues to say, yeah, but it's for the growth and development of the quarterback. We want to put more on his shoulders that he can, be thrown to the fire and then rise out of the ash like a phoenix. Well, that didn't work.
Yeah.
Because Sam has performances this season that we know he's capable of playing well, but we haven't seen it in the past like 4 weeks. Is he broken?
No. He was up there as the top passer in terms of yardage for a good while. And that went away. That definitely went away. And I think winning is the real statistic. You can talk about all this other stuff. Winning is the real statistic. And when our offense tries to get going, the defense lets down. When the defense is holding them, because they held them to 13 points. Held them to 3 points in the first quarter.
In the first half.
10 points in the second quarter. But no offensive production.
2 turnovers.
Yeah.
2 turnovers that both resulted in 3 and outs.
Yeah.
And only one explosive play, which if you had told me that 3 weeks ago, I'd be like,
Yeah.
what?
That was Terry's play, right?
No, I'm talking about from a
He's took-
defensive standpoint. Because busted coverage is the thing that we love to do, and we only.
Oh
do
my
it
God,
once.
I don't think I've ever seen anything more busted than that throw to Cooper Kupp.
Right.
The statistic said he had 17 yards of clearance from the nearest Commander player,
and he almost got overthrown, but he made the catch.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone that wide open before. But anyway, that play. That play was one of my major frustrations, and the other major frustration was getting down on the 1 yard line in the fourth quarter with 4 minutes and 47 seconds on the clock and taking over 3 minutes to score that touchdown.
Yeah. Now you guys have to remember too. I was on the other side of the stadium sitting with my nephew. You guys were on the other side in different seats. When that happened, I remember looking up at the clock, and I only looked up when it was at 3:20 or something. But you're saying
it was after a couple of
statistics showed it was almost 4 minutes when we got down to position in the red zone.
It's almost 5
And I sat to myself and I said, wait a minute, we're sitting here we're running the ball and eating up all this clock. Do they realize we need to get 2 touchdowns?
They weren't playing like they weren't playing like they wanted to pull the win out. They were just playing like
it felt like they waited for the 2-minute warning from 3.5 minutes in. Like, let's just get there and we'll take the time out and we'll.
It's the same take as I have with Sam, where it's like, like there's been issues there all season, but this coaching staff's ineptitude has become like on a level that I've never seen before this season and specifically recently. Like it is, the fact that Cam Cheeseman had a place on this team until
for as long as he
15 did is bizarre to me. He's had problems all game. Replace him.
Just to clarify, Cam Cheeseman, the long snapper.
My apologies.
For punting.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. For punting and field goals.
And yes.
No. Yeah. Punting and field goals. Yeah. Right.
So I don't know. It like that is just one thing, and then it's like, okay, well, we wasted 4 minutes on the 1 inch line to score a touchdown. Like it's just bizarre. I mean, they snapped the ball with 5 seconds to go on the play clock. They have They have over 35 seconds. They use 30 seconds to come up with a play and get it. Is it a player thing? Maybe they might just be walking around out there not giving a toot. But you saw Jacoby go in and go, okay, let's win this game. So I don't think it was. I really don't think it was, because that is bizarre. And then on the 1 inch line, they go into shotgun. Eric Bieniemy loves those shotguns and in short yardage situations. I'll just never get it. I'll just never understand it.
Yeah, I know.
Why don't we do the push? We can't even do the tush push.
We can't. We don't have the offensive line for it. I mean, the tush, the brotherly shove, tush push, whatever. And I'd say works because of the offensive line. They're able to move that defense back enough yard. Our offensive line can't do that. Well, you saw it. We couldn't do it on runs. No. We can't move them.
No.
The whole failure of this coaching staff has come to a point, because you can't really just think about it as this season. You have to think about it as every draft in this tenure. We traded
when you start looking at that. Yeah.
For a long snapper. We traded a 5th round pick for a long snapper that we cut. Can you believe that? How horrible is that? Sam Howell is a 5th round pick. Sam Howell is a 5th round pick. Imagine if we have another 5th round pick. Like, it's just, and then you look at the players on the field and you go, how is this person starting a football game? And guys that we go, oh my God, wait, we like him. He's pretty good. Like Benjamin St. Juice.
Yeah.
I have no problem with Juice. Is he elite? Fuck no. He is so mid. He is so mid. Yeah. He's a 3rd string. If he was a 3rd string corner, I'd be like, let's go. We got ourselves a good 3rd string.
A good solid 3rd
string cornerback.
But I feel like that about all of our defensive backs. I don't really.
That's why they may all go.
Forbes played
Cam,
six snaps.
Curl, I thought would be somebody that would stand out, but
why was Forbes like on the bench?
Because this staff is so fucking lost. They think they're coaching a soccer team. It's bizarre, man.
They like the
matchups
better with Quan.
Say more about that, Bradley. Why do you say soccer team?
We have 3 games left on a season that we have 4 wins. We're not vying for a playoff spot. If you think that Kendall Fuller and Benjamin St-Juste are the better options at cornerback, that I understand and I actually agree with that. But we have 3 games left and we've won 4 games. There's no point. We're not winning any more games. There's no point.
We're not getting to the playoffs anyway.
So might as well put in the rookie, the first round pick, to get him some reps. Doesn't make sense that he's sitting on the bench in week 15 with 4 wins. It's just.
And who's playing ahead of him?
Benjamin St-Juste and Kendall Fuller, which again, they give you the better shot to win. But to my point, it's like.
No, I was looking at something today about what are we looking for in these last 3 games, and the number 1 was Sam Howell development, and then I think 2 or 3, I can't remember what the third one was, but one of them was developing the other young players, give the rookies and the second years chance to play, and see what you got.
Yeah, they're not gonna take him out, take Kendall Fuller out for Forbes, and they're not going to take St-Juste out for Forbes, but he should be getting some reps. Did he even play?
I mean, 6 times, yeah.
6 reps. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because you know who I'm actually starting to, and maybe we can move to commanding attention.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I actually wanted to talk a little bit about some of our young players. Like Quan Martin. Who I think is developing. I don't know how great his coverage is. I think his coverage is a little bit, I don't know, maybe he's developing, but he has become a really solid tackler and a downfield guy who can make the play on the ball quickly, and hits people pretty hard. He was flying around.
He was.
Yeah. And what's the guy? KJ
Henry. That's the other guy.
I like KJ Henry a lot.
I like KJ Henry showing some promise.
I like
as well.
him a lot. His name is always being called.
Yeah. But it's funny because I we think he's not Montez Sweat or Chase Young, but we don't need that. We need guys that'll fill a spot, right? That is going to be a solid player. He's a 5th round pick. If KJ Henry gets 5 sacks in the season, that is fantastic and can set the edge. Gets his hands up, is a big body. We tried the 2 first round picks, freelancing and going for the quarterback and fighting each other, to get to the quarterback. And that's all well and dandy. But at the same time, having one Nick Bosa on the edge and then a guy like KJ Henry, who is, doing his job and doing it well.
He's always in the mix. He's always in the mix.
Yeah.
A name that I haven't heard enough of this year is Jonathan Allen. Just don't hear his name.
Surprising,
He's just like he got lost in the mix some kind of way.
I mean, the defensive line in general is not putting any pressure on anybody, and you'd like to see it coming from Allen now that we lost our ends, but it's not happening. It's just not happening.
I see Hudson flying around the ball. He seems like he's really, really getting himself in the mix.
Hudson and Quan, I would like to see more coverage from them, or better coverage from them, because they both are phenomenal tacklers. They close to the ball really fast. And Hudson, I think he's gotten better throughout the season because he got burned by Saquon a couple times and some other players. And Quan got burned by Tyreek Hill. Shocker. He put a rookie on Tyreek Hill and was like, oh, he got burned. Like, I don't even blame him for that.
And Forbes has kind of been moved on the depth chart to like 3rd string.
Yeah.
So he's not. That's why he's not even getting a lot of playing time, because Quan Martin has stepped up.
Yep.
He's always around the ball, I guess, because he's a rookie. But But overall, I'm with you, Bradley. I have no idea what to say. I have no idea what to say about this team.
Well,
other than I'm just glad Sunday at the stadium there were a lot of burgundy and gold.
There was,
and I was shocked.
It
was almost like FedEx Field when we have a home game and there's thousands of Philly, of Philly fans, thousands of Cowboy fans there, thousands of Giant fans.
Yeah,
there was a lot of people from DC. They even had a go-go party with DC, the sound of DC, that go-go music.
Nice.
You know, people were playing it in the tailgating party, and there was actually a party in LA. But I don't have much more to say right now about this team, other than I hope we get to see that clip of Ron Rivera playing linebacker when he was a second stringer in the Super Bowl. I watched that. I watched his Super Bowl win today, and they didn't give they couldn't get Walter Payton in the end zone. That was 1985, guys. 85 Bears. The defense was lights out.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
lights out, and you just saw the energy of a dominant defense. The offense was not that great, but they had a wild quarterback in Jim McMahon who has energy. That's the one thing that I'm a little concerned about with Sam Howell is energy. I'm a big energy guy. And he's got sort of a mild-mannered, almost an Eli Manning type of vibe, you know, but Eli, you know, you can't take anything from him because he's got 2 Super Bowl rings.
Right.
Yeah.
But outside of those Super Bowl years, he just was kind of blah.
I think his thing is, and there's a lot of players or quarterbacks especially like this, like nothing flusters me. I'm going to stay even keeled the whole time, which also means you don't get the, you know, the like the dog and you know that you look for in other players, you know. But it's like I'm even keeled. I'm even keeled when we're doing great, and I'm even keeled when we're down.
Yeah.
But you know, I know what you're saying. You don't get that energy from him.
Yeah.
Let me ask this question.
It's not as exciting, and on a team like this, I think that's what's missing in our personalities. We've drafted and put a lot of Ron Rivera's out there on the field, kind of sort of generic personalities.
Really good guys. Really good.
Good guys. Good Christian guys. You know,
like your Terry McLaurins.
Yeah.
Jamin Davis, good dude.
We might need a couple axe murderers, you know.
I think that's one of the things that's been missing. Like when I think about the big W in our name, I keep coming up like, why? Why am I a fan? Why am I? But
I keep saying when are we gonna?
Yeah, I know. And then W, wasted talent. You know, like, you know,
that's good. That's a good W, Eddie. I keep saying where's Terry?
Right.
Where's
How about wins? How about wins? We need a W with a win.
That's what we need.
Oh, that's the big one.
But the biggest one is why? Because every question I've had is like why do we always suck so much more than everyone else? Like, is there something about the team that just can't get away from like this stigma of just stench? Like, even the girls in the stands and the guys in the stands that we were meeting, I was sitting over by Lee. And about the third quarter, my nephew decides, hey, we're going to take off. We want to beat the traffic. And I'm like, all right, you know, and I'm like thinking about going over to see Tico and Donnie. And I'm like, I'm going to just hang here with my peeps. So there was two cute girls behind me, and they were really nice. And they were just Redskins all dressed up. And I'm sorry, Washington Commanders. And they just kept me going. Like, we kept high-fiving, you know, we saw this little moment of occasional perkiness that, you know, we brought in Brissett and things started to happen. And, you know, when you guys asked earlier, you know, what do I think about, or what do we think about Brissett being brought in? I don't really mind it. The guy's been sitting on the bench. He's probably equal talent to.
Yeah, give him a bone. Who
Give
cares?
him a
Why
bone.
not give
It's
him a
just the
chance?
NFL. Who cares?
No, but
Who
you know
cares about
why
this
though?
team going forward.
I get that too, but my feeling is we know Sam was having some issues. He couldn't get shit going. And sometimes you just need to put on the brakes and you say, you know what, maybe this guy can go in. We have nothing to lose, but at the same time, we needed somebody to spark something because he did. He got it.
Brissett came in and looked sharp.
Did you guys notice that every pass by Sam was a little short all day?
Or a little high or a little something?
No, most of it was short because every defender had a chance to rip it off.
Yeah.
That pissed me off because it was like Terry's going to go up and get it. You throw it long, let him go get it. And he just didn't have that touch.
He did that once, and Terry, we thought maybe he'd made a one-handed catch, and it turned out they overruled it. Although I still think his right arm was being held by the defender. I didn't see a flag on that.
And I thought his hand
again,
was under
and then,
the ball.
and then
So
Terry tipped it up and it got picked.
And then Terry tipped one up. That was a little bit behind him. That was a throw across that was a dangerous throw across the field. But he did tip it up and let it get intercepted.
And he looked a little rattled. He looked a little. But we got to give the Rams defense some credit. They're only 2 years removed from the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
This was a defense that was at the top, and they're finding their stride now because they started off really bad.
And they had a reason to, right, Tico? I mean, they were trying to get into position so that they could be in the playoffs. So
sure.
Of course they're going to play with a lot more exuberance than we would. I mean, we have to play for, but except for pride, right? And we keep coming back to pride, and we don't seem to have much.
Okay,
but also as professionals, you never want to go out there and dog it. If you're a true professional, you want to beat everybody every game.
Yeah.
So listen, it's half past the hour of. I mean, it's half past our time. Why don't we move forward to the next topic? Anything commanding attention?
Yeah, because I just want to ask one question, not about this game or the team, the players in particular, and maybe we've hashed this out a little bit in the past too. But we got 3 games left, and what are we looking for? Because we're at 4-10, right?
Right.
There's a lot of teams at 5-9. Here's the one team that we could possibly beat, I think, in our 3 remaining games is this weekend is the Jets. They're maybe as bad as we are, maybe not quite as bad as we are. I don't know. But it's a winnable game. And yet we win that game. We go to 5-10. The Jets fall to 5-10. Yeah. We get in a very crowded space. And I say this all the time, and you'll hear it in my commandment. I come from the heart. I'm always wanting us to win. But there is that flip side. Like, what does that do to our? Right now, I think we're in the number 4 spot, maybe for a draft pick.
Yeah, I can't go with any of that at all.
It gets crowded if
we win another game. Tanking stuff. I can't go with any kind of tanking conversation.
No, it just means we accept the losses when they come.
It's hard for me to go with it too, but as a podcaster, I can't ignore it
because that's when you get hurt. That's when players get hurt. Remember,
I'm not saying to players. I'm talking about us as fans. What are we looking for?
We're looking for some wins. We're looking for some excitement. We're looking for the same thing we saw last year when we saw Sam Howell have a good game against Dallas. We felt good. We were like, oh man, we got our quarterback. We want some positives. That's what I want.
I want that too. And as I said, I said it to some other Washington fans after the Rams game. I'm always rooting for them to win during the game. When it ends up with a loss, I go, okay, well, that didn't hurt our draft prospects at all.
Okay, but I do want to mention this because I have 2 things, because this is what I was going to say to Eddie, because you were mentioning, forget what you were mentioning, but it reminded me of this. And I've been kind of thinking about this because I've been having this take, like, we need to lose as many games as possible so that we can get a better draft pick. However, if you are Sam Howell, so if you're not Sam Howell, close out of this video. But if you are, listen up. You do
I'm
not
sure
want
he's
to win
watching.
You do not want to win any more, or you do not want to lose any more games. You want to win as many as you can, because the lower our draft pick, the easier it is to get a quarterback.
Yeah.
And if I'm management next year, you have a really hard decision to make if you're sitting at 4 and you have an even harder one at 3, or maybe it's easier at 3, because at 4 it would maybe take some trades to go up and get Caleb Williams. At 3 it probably may as well, but it'll be easier because the Bears probably won't take a quarterback. We'll see. But anyway, so
no, that's an interesting take.
It is an interesting take. So if you're a fan of Sam, you want to win some games, because that will give him the best opportunity to still continue. Be the quarterback.
Yeah. He's trying to secure his position. Yeah.
Yeah. However,
I think the Carolina Panthers might scoop him up if they stay at the bottom, or New England.
Well, Carolina Panthers will get the first pick, so they can. They
don't have a first pick. The Bears have their first pick.
Oh, right. The Bears have their pick. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
New England is the one that will be taking a quarterback. So you'd have to trade a lot to go and trade in front of the Patriots, who we beat.
Right.
But however, Tico, here's what I'll say. Because for the strength of the team, I remember not too long ago, we played a game against the Miami Dolphins, and they had a very similar game to this game. They had Josh Rosen starting, and they lost that, or the Josh Rosen was stinking it up. We had like a 17-point lead going into the second quarter, or the second half. We went up by 3 scores. They put in Ryan Fitzpatrick. Ryan Fitzpatrick goes down. They score 3 touchdowns, and they go for 2 to win it. And they miss the 2-point conversion. We end up winning that game. Okay. That next year, we were 1 game away from having the first pick in the draft. Guess who was picked first that year? Joe Burrow. Guess who we picked at the second pick? Chase Young.
Right.
Imagine if we had Joe Burrow right now instead of Chase Young. So don't tell me that draft picks don't matter, because they do. Because we traded Chase Young for a 2nd-round pick, while the Cincinnati Bengals are now in the playoffs almost every year and have been to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but do you think we would have done better with Burrow?
Then Dwayne Haskins, then Ryan Fitzpatrick, then Carson Wentz, then Sam Howell. Hell yeah.
No, but we have no offensive line.
Yeah. Neither did they. He got sacked 9 times in the Super Bowl.
That's true. However,
we're Washington.
There is, we're still watching.
Yeah, but that excuse only lasts so long. We're Washington. We're Washington. Yeah,
it's lasted a long time, Bradley.
That's what I'm saying.
Long time.
When is it break? We can't.
I don't know, man.
That's the W win.
That's the W win.
That's the win. We got win. We got WIN.
But the excuse that you're using is, but we're Washington, so let's not even try to go get good players. Let's just accept that we're gonna draft terribly and be terrible for the rest of the
year. I say let's get good players. I can't never tank.
Part of the reason I bring it up though, Tico, we talked about it before we got on the podcast. We said let's look at the positive things.
Right.
And a high draft pick right now is one of the positive things that's coming out of this season. There's not a whole lot of positive to talk about coming out of this season.
High draft pick. We have 5 high draft picks.
Yeah, that's right.
We have $90 million in cap. That is a positive.
Those are positives. So, I mean, it kind of hurts at this point to just, like, there's 3 games left, or even 2-3 weeks ago, the seasons, you're already throwing it away. And that's kind of how I feel. Like, let's just get through these freaking games, because I want to see what we start building for next year. I want to see who the coach is going to be. I want to see who they draft. I want to see who they bring over. Like all these things. That's what's foremost in my mind, more so than winning any one of those 3 games.
I'm actually excited about that because of the people that are going to be making the decisions. The people that know how to.
I am too. I'm saying those are things to be excited about.
Okay, well, so we're going to be going back to. We're going to New York.
Let's take a look at New York.
Let's take a look at New York.
We're going to New York. What are the 4 commandments? What do we have to do?
Let's talk about it.
Well, Jets have a good defense. We know that. Even though they're not a great team, they do have a good defense. And it would be a great opportunity, I think, for Sam to shine. But one of my commandments is kind of a three-parter. One of it is convert on third downs. I think that's an area we struggle in, and that would keep the offense on the field. Win the turnover battle, which we did against the Rams. We won the turnover battle, and let's win this game. So having said all that about draft pick, again, I'm coming from the heart. Let's win the game. I want to see a win. For the pride, for Sam,
how about
for the
for
community,
us? How about
for us, for the four of us,
like so that we can have something happy to talk about.
Yeah. Starting a podcast in a year where we go 4-10.
I know.
It is hard. It makes it harder to come and talk about this team every week. It really does.
Especially when we had such high hopes.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
Started this season 2-0.
Yeah, we just went 0-5, right?
Yeah, last 5 games we've lost.
Yeah.
We started the season 2-0, and to think that we only won 2 more games after that is pretty pathetic.
Well,
pretty sad.
This was a rebuild year for this podcast.
Before I forget what my commandment is, it was kind of similar.
Yeah, that's it.
It was just basically, if we're going to get into a situation where we actually cause a turnover and we get the ball, let's do something with that. Capitalize on.
Yeah.
Bingo. That's a good one, Eddie.
Because you just said we beat them in the turnover game. No, we didn't. We didn't make any points.
Didn't do anything with it. Yeah, you're right.
So what's that's
what was the battle?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Stopping them. That was just like a good defensive play.
Win the battle, lose the war. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll go with my commandment is I'm gonna pretend for 1 second that this coaching staff isn't just a complete, and utter bonfire, and say that they put Jacoby Brissett in last game to light a fire under Sam Howell's butt. And be like, no, we know you can do it, but like we want you to feel the pressure so that you can play better. So I'm gonna pretend like that was their reasoning, because I don't even want to pretend like I know their reasoning, because it was whatever. I want Sam to come in and be like mad and mean, right? That energy that you was talking about. I want him to be mean. I want him to be foaming at the mouth. I want him to be angry that they would freaking bench him. Are you kidding me? I want him to be hitting Terry. So I want to see mean Sam Howell next week. And I want him to be angry and show up for this game. That's my commandment. I want to see mean Sam.
That's if he starts.
Thou shalt see that thou shalt. No, he's starting. Ron Rivera said he's starting.
He'll start, yeah.
Thou shalt be angry, Sam Howell. Talking to you again. Talking straight up to you.
Yeah, stop being so fucking nice.
Get angry.
Sam, put your comments down below.
Yeah. Let us know. Are you getting angry?
Every time I see him on,
we all love you, man. We do.
Every time I see him on camera, I just want to give the guy a hug. And now I just want to slap him.
I did. I started it. It's up to you, T. You're the last one.
Were you with the
I said win the turnover battle, convert on third downs, and win this game.
Yeah, okay, that's right. You did. And I said, let Jacoby Brissett play again if Sam Howell is stuck. Yeah.
Okay with me. I don't have any
I
problem
agree
with
that, but hey.
So listen. We're going to be back together, not at SoFi Stadium, and we're definitely not flying to New York. Bradley, why don't you take us on out of here, man?
Yeah,
I think we've done enough damage for this week.
Our next podcast will be right after Christmas, so we're gonna wish everybody a happy holidays.
Yeah,
as we go into this holiday weekend. Yeah, that's
peace. And then safe out there.
Happy holidays.
Share some good vibes with each other.
And I hope we don't see Aaron
tonight
on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're not going to see. They've already announced it. We're not seeing Aaron.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us. That's a wrap for this episode of Command West. We hope you had just as much fun watching as we did, bringing you the latest and the greatest from the Burgundy and Gold. Like, share, comment, subscribe, leave your comments down below. Leave your 5th commandment. We are the 4, you are the 5th. Thanks so much for watching, and tune in next week. Happy holidays.
Take care, guys.
Peace on earth, goodwill toward men.